The first time I saw Mark, he came out and we were doing a fartlek run, and he just died in that first practice. And I thought for sure this kid is not going to come back. But sure enough, the very next practice he was there.
Oh, it was horrible. I hated every last second of it. I really only stayed because, number one, I just needed something to do after school, and I just really wanted to get better for swimming, which was my main sport at the time. In the earlier years, I would just constantly tell myself while I was running, just keep doing it, you're doing fine, get it over with. But recent years, now I've actually started taking it seriously. I cared more about my time, I cared more about improving, and that's what I wanted to do.
Last year I began to talk to Mark about the fact that he will be the senior on the team and that the team will look up to him. And I think at that point he didn't necessarily believe that he had the potential to lead a cross-country team, and yet this year he has embraced that. He came out pre-season and just started running over the summer. His mile times began to improve, and I think that gave him the confidence that you see today in the leader that you see today.
I really admire how much work he's put in. Like, every day he comes to practice, he still works hard, he still gives it all he has, and he's still like a dependable teammate. And I learned a lot from him, being with him throughout practice.
Rarely do you have an athlete that comes out and gives 100% every time. And the fact that the team has rallied around Mark over the last year, just celebrating every milestone and every improvement he has shown, is just amazing.
Having people that I knew cheering me on, and some people who I didn't know cheering me on, even kids from other teams cheering me on, that just changed everything. Because it's Wickham, it's genuinely just a different race on its own.
Wickham is the type of field that will either make or break you mentally.
The last time I did this was junior year. I got 31 CCC. Then coming this year, my main goal, because coach told me, is go for a 26. When I was on the line, I always have these goals that I keep to keep up with certain people. One of my teammates, Taye, is someone that I usually try to keep up with, and like later in the race he'll slowly drift away from me. I kept up with him like halfway through the course, which generally pushed me to go farther and farther. Then I had people behind me that I didn't want to pass me. Then I'd see two of my teammates in the distance that I wanted to catch up to. I just constantly kept making goals for me to go faster. And then Green Monster, I just remember a motivational video, my coach, I think it's from the movie McFarlane, the slowest guy in the team just running as fast as he could up one of the hardest hills. So I just thought, do what he did, do what Danny would do, and I kept going. The goal was get a 26 no matter what. When I realized that I was at like 24:45 by the time I was going through that last 600, I was like, okay, this is the moment, this is my time. And as soon as I got to the final 100 meters, I see 26:01. So that was disheartening, but then again, I was like, you just did 5 minutes better than you did last year. Don't try to ruin yourself now when you're literally right at the end. So I pushed as hard as I could up that hill and I finished. And I thank the guy in front of me, genuinely pushed me to keep up with him.
He was able to conquer Wickham, and that just meant a lot to us as a team, to Mark as an athlete, and to me as a coach.
5 minutes off your time.
But it just shows the amount of work that he puts in through practice and in the meets.
I loved every second of this season and the last. Just the amount of dopamine I got from improving from the 40 minutes to like a 38 to all of a sudden getting to a 29 last year and then a 26 this year. It just felt absolutely great, and I couldn't have done it without my coach, my parents in general, who kept pushing me to keep going.
We needed an athlete like Mark, willing to work hard and give 100%, because it just multiplies. And I think Mark is a reminder that hard work will always beat talent when talent fails to work hard.
I just hope I'm set a good enough example for them to pass on what I went through. If Coach White keeps coaching here, I want her to pass on my story and hopefully motivate anybody who was like me to just keep going and keep improving.
Mark is like the heart and soul of the team. He has worked so hard over the years to be the athlete that he is today.
Don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. Even if you're not the fastest, that doesn't mean you can't improve the most.